Hi, Sean Huxter here. Welcome to Magical Little Worlds with me. Tonight we're going to do 3 of these. Now, recently I did 2 of these, and what did we get? We got these 2 little guys. Little skeletal figures. This is of a raptor, I believe. Yeah, with the claw right there. And this is of a tyrannosaur. And what I found cute about this one is it has like a spear in its back. Like some caveman had attacked it, which of course is ridiculous because they did not exist at the same time as cavemen. But, you know, these are pretty fun, typical, like, Zuru Smashers caricaturistic dinosaurs. A little larger than the mini ones that you get in the Smashers eggs, but much smaller than, obviously, the minis, which are here, and the others, which are here, like really large. But fun nonetheless. And I found a little deal where I found 3 of these. Now, in the past, these 2 came from ones that had this dark dinosaur, this dark gray charcoal dinosaur here. So this may be a dupe of one of these, but I did open 2 that looked exactly like this and got 2 different ones. Now, tonight we're opening an orange one and a red one as well. So honestly, I have no idea what we're going to get, but we're going to discover it together and have a bit of fun. So let's get right to it and open up the gray one first, because that's going to be the least surprising, let's say. Of course, the first test of any Zuru's egg or mini brand or anything else is, does the zipper work, guys? Let's find out. So rarely has this zipper worked. There's been a few cases, and I almost want to like put them in some sort of Hall of Fame because they actually do work in occasionally. But, well, let's see what happens here. What do you think? Ah, of course not. Well, we're not going to give up that easily. We're going to try one more time and see. No. It's just not working. So what do we do when that happens? Well, we just take it like so, we rip it. And we pull. And we don't do the whole peeling the apple thing where we go around and round and round and round 20, 30 times. No, we just rip it away. Oh, by the way, and I'll get into it the next one, but what we have inside is 1 dino skeleton, like this, 1 dino slime, okay, 2 3D stickers. Interesting to see what they mean by 3D, because there's a few ways to interpret that. 1 surprise character. Now that's going to be cool. And then 1 instruction sheet. All right. It has slime, a surprise collectible, and a surprise dino fossil. Let's continue ripping and get this guy open. And I won't be doing this for the rest. I'll just open this first one, and then we'll snap the other. So what do we do with this? We pop the top off and we pull away, and what do we get? Well, we get this guide. This could be a spoiler. It might tell us which one we have. And apparently it does. Yeah. So apparently we have the T-Rex again. As I said, this one did come from a gray T-Rex headed egg. So it looks like we do get the same one. Okay. The other possibles are the Triceratops, the Raptor. Well, we know we have the T-Rex. We also own one of the Raptors. A Mosasaur. Now, I really would love to have a Mosasaur. I love my Stegosauruses. Stegosaurus is one of my favorites. And then the Therizinosaurus. So let us find out what we have. I suspect that the orange and red ones will be different than the Raptor and the T-Rex that we got in the gray ones. Let's find out. As with any toy that involves slime, we bring out our best friend, the aluminum tray. And then we make sure we open our slime on the tray. So let's leave the other bags to the side for a moment. Now this one's going to be stickers. Let's just open this one first, just to get that out of the way. Let's see, there's a tear here. I'm wondering what the 3D stickers means, because like I said, there's a couple ways to interpret that. Okay, so these are puffy stickers. Kind of cool. There's a T-Rex skull. And what looks like a, I think that looks a bit like a Stegosaurus skull. And these are just puffy stickers. There are some that are like fully contoured, and then there are some that are lenticular. These are just puffy, which is fine. They're still 3D stickers. So we'll put those aside. And now let's open the slime. And I really hope this is good slime, because you know my opinion on slime if you watch my videos, is there's good slime and there's bad slime. The good slime, I like to say, obeys orders. The bad slime doesn't. So let's find out what we have tonight. Pull, tear, and we're going to go through these really quickly, by the way, because there are 3 of them. I'm going to be going through the first one a little more slowly as usual, and then we'll go through the others more quickly. Oh, that's a nice looking slime. Oh, is it slime and icky, or is it good? I won't know until I pull it. Oh, this sticky. Yeah, not one of my faves. But there's the Tyrannosaur again. Oh, yuck. Yeah, this is sticky. Sticking to my hands. Not in a good way. Come on, bye. Let's get down. Let's get down. Come on. Yeah, this is one of these that, like, the bag is about 3 feet above the tray right now, and it's still not pulling it all out. So let's get it all out. Almost done. Oh, we're getting it there. Oh, it broke. This is slime that does not obey orders. There's still lots left in the bag, and it's just not coming out. So you know what? I'm just going to call that done, and we will get down to the actual construction of the dino. Okay, officially, this is one of the really bad slimes. Oh, dear Lord, it's awful. But let's see if we can't pull our figures out, our pieces out. It's just not. Let me pull out a little to see what's happening here. And this is like from previous efforts with slime and things. So here we'll use our aluminum tray to make sure that doesn't happen again. And oh, this is really not pleasant. Oh, this is sticky and gross. Yeah, this is a gross slime. This is not at all helpful. So I am going to pause this and just get this cleaned up, because this is going to take about an hour. At this point, I would be willing to call this slime angering slime. Like, this is not fun slime. This is annoying slime. This is slime that if I could talk to people at Zuru, I would say, look, what the hell do you think you're doing? This is just not at all entertaining. This is almost abusive. This is really not fun. This is slime I don't ever want to see again. And guess what? I got to open 2 more tonight. Oh, this is really bad, guys. I mean, I'm not even storing this. I'm just going to put this in the bag and then chuck it, because this is not worth keeping. This, can I just ask Zuru, please, to discontinue this one? This just is not good. This is just not. No. Never again, Zuru. Never again. This goes in the garbage. That's it. We're gone. So as this is a dupe, I'll still do the assembly here. So we take the 2 halves of the spinal area, the body, and they're really kind of hard to fit. These smaller kind of kits just don't go together very well. They really just don't. I mean, yeah, these are small, these are cheap, right? But boy, does it show. And snap the head in place. There is a jaw that works on the head, which snaps in like so. And I mean, sure, it goes in like this. And it goes, yay! And then we do the rear legs, and then we're going to put this guy aside, move on to the next one, and try to avoid that slime as best as possible. So, oh dear Lord, that slime. That slime is traumatic. All right, there's our second version of the Tyranno. We already, like I said, we already have one, but now we know for sure that these 2 are going to be unique because they do not have the gray dinosaur on top. All right. Oh, there's one thing before we go, and that is before we move on to these, is there is a mystery figure in here. So let's figure out what that one is. Everyone has a mystery figure. Let's find out what we got. And what we have is the an egg with an eye. Kind of cute. Dino egg with an eye of a hatching dinosaur. Oh, okay, let's push that aside and pretend it never happened, and we'll go on to the red egg. Heck with the zipper, we've cut it. We're going to tear this away. Zoom out just a little for the pop, and here we go. Now, what do we have? Don't know yet, but here's our slime. Here's our character, and here's our, a little bit of a spoiler, and here's our stickers. So I think the stickers will probably be similar. They may be exactly the same, but if the other ones were any indication, they will be similar. So there is, yeah, that's a different one, and 2 different ones compared to the previous. So that's good. That's 4 stickers now we have with 2, and that bodes well for what's inside here. So I'm not going to spoil it by showing you the guide, but what I am going to do is we're going to delve into the slime again. All right, here we go. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to show you this because we know what this is like. I'm going to clean it all off, and then we'll get to the construction of the dino itself. All right, I am going to show some of the slime just dripping down from the bag as it just drips and falls from the bag. And the bag is now like 3 feet above the tray, and it's still not coming clean because this is not slime that obeys orders. And when it drops, we'll just do the cleanup. Oh, it's still coming. There's still a lot in the bag, and it's just not coming out. Look at that. This is ridiculous. There we go. All right, next. I have done away with the slime, so you guys don't have to. So, at first glance, the first thing you notice is that this is going to be the dinosaur with the longest claws. And if you look up the Therizinosaurus, it has the longest claws on any animal that's ever been discovered by proportion of size. So we definitely have the Therizinosaurus. So we'll put the body together. By the way, the only way to get the slime off this is with paper towel. Pull it away with paper towel and then it comes clean. You cannot wash the slime away with water. It just doesn't work. So you know I have Zuru on speed dial. So tonight when I'm done, I'm going to call up Zuru and say, hey guys, don't ever use this slime again. And they're going to listen to me because you know they do, right? And you know they listen to me. So they don't. Let's put the body in place. And there are 3 little peg holes here. Again, these don't always go together very well. Zoom out just a little to get a bit better context. So now we're going to put the head on the neck. Very tiny head for the Therizinosaurus, but, you know, a long spine. So there he is. Oh, I kind of like that. It's almost parrot-like, isn't it? No opening jaw like the others that we saw so far. Then we have the one of the very, very thin but spiny and claw. Oh, is that right? It's got to be right. Although the claws are weird. It's like they're pointed inward. All right, I'll go with that. And then this one goes in here. Yeah, that's kind of weird, but it's all right. Like one goes, like I would expect it to be like this, but it's not. And then the rear legs. Rear legs here. And these kind of key into place, so there's not a lot of movement when you put them in place. They're there for a specific pose, I believe, and not a pose that you can decide on your own. So yeah, there's no kind of like, ooh, yeah. There's not a lot of swing room. So there is our Therizinosaurus, and he stands. So that's good. So we'll put him over with our T-Rex, and let's open our mini bag and see what little character we have in here. Now, normally these characters here come in Zuru Smasher's eggs, but for these are very low cost items, and yeah, they're not going to put a Smasher's egg in there. They're just going to be a little bag, but it's the same thing as the Smasher's egg. You still get the same kind of character inside. And what do we have? Oh, we have the moose. I once got the moose that was flocked in one of the Frozen Ice Age series, and I have to say I really kind of like the moose. I almost want to say that I shouldn't, but I will. I'll say that Zuru is taking a little dig at Moose Toys, which is the creators of Treasure X, and sort of competitive toys with Zuru. I wonder if this isn't like Moose cowering down to Zuru. You know what? Pretend I never said that. I got no insight into that matter. I just have my opinions. And if you're not here for my opinions, why are you here? So, last one. This is the orange one. So, by the way, remember, the red one of these is apparently the Therizinosaurus. And I want to say that definitively, but I can't, because in the past, the dark version has given us not just the Tyrannosaur, but also the Raptor. So I don't know for sure if the color really means anything. Red could mean multiples, but at least we do know that if you pull a red, you have the likelihood of getting a Therizinosaurus. What do we get with the orange? Well, we're going to find that out now. In the past, in the Dinos versus Aliens, and I believe in the Ice Age micro set, the orange indicated a Triceratops. I do not know that to be true, but we may find out now. So I'm going to zoom out just a little bit for the pop as I pop this egg and pull out the slime and the minifig. And oops, lost the... If you watch my channel, you know I always drop something on the floor. It's not a bit, it's not funny, it just happens. I'm a Butterfingers. Here we go. And here's what we dropped. These are the stickers, so let's open up the stickers and see if we get different ones this time. Let's see. Okay, we've seen that one before, I think. Let me see. Here are the previous. So, yeah, we saw that one before, right here. So we have that. And then this one is... Yeah, and we saw that one before, right here. So the stickers, I think, are more or less randomly placed. And let's move it to the side. And I don't know how many there are in total, but we have 4 here out of 2 eggs, or 3 eggs, with a couple of dupes. All right, we'll leave the fun little minifigure for the end, and we will deal once again with slime. But we'll now see what we have, and I'm not showing you the guide because I want this to be a surprise. Let's see if we can't do a bit of a time lapse. All right, let's get that last bit out. What we do apparently have is a stegosaurus, and I do love my stegosauruses. So I was incorrect in assuming that the orange meant a triceratops, but I'll take stegosaurus any day. My favorite dinosaur is the triceratops. My second favorite is the stegosaurus. And after that, I think we got the mosasaurus, and it kind of goes down from there. Oh, and the ankylosaurus, then this pachycephalosaurus. Not the big ones that everybody considers like the Tyrannosaur and the Raptor. Don't really care about those. Have had enough of those and have I'm up to my eye teeth in those. But here we have a stegosaurus. So I'm going to enjoy putting this one together. And let's just do it, shall we? So the bone plates of a stegosaur, of course, its major feature, and I absolutely adore them. So we take our 2 body parts, we find the 3 peg holes, and we snap them together so that the 2 plate rows come together. I'm not sure how accurate this one is because I think that the tail kind of starts early here. Oh, I see. So I was thinking the tail started early with, let me get the zoom in proper here, with no more plates, but I was wrong because there are more than just these 3 or 4 plates here. It continues down the tail. So that actually is pretty nice. And then the tail does end with, although in the real one these are much sharper, with the thorns at the end, or horns, that allow a stegosaurus to defend itself from behind, which is really rather nice. Let's pop a rear leg in place. That'll be this one here. And these are keyed again, so you don't get any choice in pose, but what you do get is a pretty decent looking skeleton. So that's a second leg there. I think that goes in like so. That's not going in very cleanly. There it is. Yeah, that's nice. And now we put our front leg on, one of the front left leg or right leg, and that one goes here like so. Thinking that unlike a lot of the dinosaurs we've seen so far, these are not bipeds, these are quadrupeds. So these legs need to all line up under the ground plane. And when we key them into place, I am betting they will. So let's get that in the right place there. Yep, that looks good to me. And then the last bit is the head, which goes here on the end of this extended neck, which is cool. And the last bit is, yes, indeed, again, we have a jaw that works. So we pop this jaw in place like so. Start on this side and snap it in here. And we have a jaw that works. You know, for such a tiny dinosaur, as you can tell by the size of my fingers, this is really nice. I think of all of them so far, this is my favorite because, as I said, Stegosaurus is one of my favorites. And I'll definitely place the Stegosaur as the leader of all of these so far. Even though we have 5, we only really have 4 because we have 2 T-Rexes. But, yeah, I think the Stegosaurus is my favorite. I think if I had gotten, instead of the T-Rex, I'd gotten the Triceratops, this would have been a perfect evening, except for that slime. All right. Let's see what's in the bag. That should have been a Smashers, but isn't. Okay, I'm not going to... Oh! I love my Triceratopses, as you know, but this is a gold Triceratops. I've never seen this one before. I've seen this in orange and purple, but never gold. So that's our surprise figure there. And that... I'm sorry, he fell over. And that is it for tonight. So... this is what we wielded from the gray, the orange, and the red. Smashers Dino Island Smash, Discover, and Build series. All in all, not bad, but boy, hated that slime. Don't mind the results. So, tonight, I'm Sean Huxter. This has been Magical Little Worlds. And thanks once again for watching. I really appreciate when you watch this stuff. I mean, you can like, you can subscribe, and you can comment, but I'm not pressuring anybody into doing anything. I do this for my own enjoyment, and if you get something out of it, that's a bonus. So, good night, people. Thank you very much. Good night. Bye.